a 2003 movie starring Tom Cruise. Although it is a fictional film, it is inspired by real historical events in Japan. The movie was produced by Warner Brothers Pictures, a major American studio. At the time, it was rare for a major Hollywood company to make a film centered around Japan. Today, Japanese culture and entertainment are loved worldwide. Maybe The Last Samurai played a role in this global fascination. The film features a samurai who actually existed. Who was this real-life samurai? His life and philosophy might be exactly what you picture when you think of a samurai. Today, we'll introduce you to the real Last Samurai. By the end of this video, you might fall in love with Japan even more. Chapter 1. The Last Samurai's synopsis. The movie is set in 1876. Tom Cruise plays Captain Nathan Algren, a former American soldier haunted by the trauma of the Civil War. Lost in self-hatred and despair, Algren struggles to find purpose in his life. One day, he is offered a job as a military advisor by the Japanese government. At the time, Japan was undergoing rapid modernization. The country's military was shifting from traditional samurai warfare, which rely on swords, to a Western-style army equipped with guns and warships. Hoping for a fresh start, Algren accepts the offer and travels to Japan. Shortly after arriving, Algren joins a battle to suppress a samurai rebellion on behalf of the Japanese government. However, he is captured as a prisoner of war. The leader of the samurai rebels is Katsumoto, played by Ken Watanabe. His loyal companion, Ajo, is played by Hiroyuki Sanada. During his captivity, Algren learns about Japanese traditions and the samurai way of life. He becomes deeply inspired by their discipline, honor, and way of thinking. Eventually, he decides to fight alongside the samurai against the government army. At that time, the Japanese government was determined to abolish the samurai system. Many samurai, however, opposed this drastic change. Ironically, Algren, who came to Japan as an advisor for modernization, ends up embracing the very tradition he was meant to replace. The movie beautifully portrays the struggle between those pushing for modernization and those determined to protect tradition. Chapter 2. The Last Samurai is Takamori Seigo. Ken Watanabe's character, Katsumoto, is believed to be based on Takamori Seigo. Takamori Seigo is one of Japan's most legendary samurai. In fact, the samurai ideals we know today are largely shaped by his legacy. He was a man of deep honor and lived a life full of dramatic events. To understand the true samurai spirit, we need to learn about Takamori Seigo. Let's explore his life and achievements. Chapter 2, Section 1. The Legacy of Takamori Seigo. Takamori Seigo accomplished many great things in his lifetime. His most famous achievement, ending the Tokugawa Shogunate. When we talk about the Tokugawa Shogunate, we must mention Ieyasu Tokugawa. Ieyasu Tokugawa is the model for the recent Disney drama Shogun. That drama is set in the time when the Tokugawa Shogunate was first established. The Tokugawa Shogunate ruled Japan for an incredible 260 years, from 1603 to 1867. Before the Tokugawa era, Japan was constantly at war. Ieyasu Tokugawa unified the country and brought peace to Japan. One of the reasons for this long period of peace was Japan's policy of limited foreign trade. This policy helped avoid external conflicts. Without foreign interference, Japanese culture and traditions flourished undisturbed. Many of these traditions have become the symbols of Japan we know today. However, over time, the shogunate became corrupt. The most significant sign of this corruption? They began ignoring the will of the emperor, or Tenno. Since ancient times, Japan has been ruled by the Tenno. However, the Tenno does not directly control politics. Instead, a powerful leader is appointed to govern the country. For centuries, this leader was from the Tokugawa family. They controlled Japan's politics, economy, and military power. Over time, they accumulated immense power and wealth. Eventually, they ruled Japan like dictators, completely ignoring the Tenno's will. This led to growing resentment among the people. The Tokugawa family had become too powerful. They controlled everything in Japan. Their 260-year dominance seemed unshakable. Then came the turning point. The Tenno appointed Takamori Seigo as the commander-in-chief. This was a clear signal that the Tenno wanted change. Despite the overwhelming odds, Seigo accepted this crucial mission. He led his forces with wisdom and courage. Through a combination of military strategy and diplomatic skill, he achieved the impossible. Seigo successfully ended the Tokugawa shogunate's 260-year rule. This incredible achievement made him a hero throughout Japan. People celebrated him as the man who had freed Japan from the Tokugawa's iron grip. Chapter 2, Section 2. The legacy of Takamori Seigo: win without fighting. Takamori Seigo wasn't just a skilled warrior, he was also a devoted scholar. He strongly believed in solving problems through discussion rather than violence. Even when facing the powerful Tokugawa family, he always tried to avoid battle whenever possible. At that time, wars were breaking out all over the world. Violence seemed to be the only way to resolve conflicts. The idea of win without fighting appeared to be nothing more than an unrealistic dream. But Seigo proved it was possible. He succeeded in resolving many conflicts through peaceful negotiation. These peaceful resolutions changed the course of Japanese history. The most famous example? The Battle of Edo Castle, or rather, the battle that never happened. Edo Castle was the Tokugawa family's mighty stronghold. It was their symbol of power, the fortress they had ruled from for 260 years. The castle was considered nearly impossible to attack. Usually, castle sieges are the bloodiest type of battle. The attacking force suffers heavy casualties. The battle can drag on for months. Many innocent lives are lost in the process. But something incredible happened at Edo Castle. Takamori Seigo achieved what seemed impossible. He took control of the castle without a single battle. Through skillful negotiation alone, he convinced the Tokugawa forces to surrender peacefully. This remarkable achievement stunned everyone. People across Japan were amazed that such a powerful fortress could be taken without bloodshed. Seigo's reputation for wisdom and compassion grew even stronger. This peaceful victory at Edo Castle became a legend. It showed that even in times of great conflict, peaceful solutions were possible. This achievement made Seigo even more admired throughout Japan. Chapter 2, Section 3. The legacy of Takamori Seigo: to cherish one's companions. Takamori Seigo deeply valued his comrades. This devotion would ultimately determine his fate. After the fall of the shogunate, Japan established a new government called the Meiji government. As a hero of the revolution, Takamori Seigo was appointed as the supreme commander of the new army. However, he soon found himself at odds with the government's aggressive modernization policies. The new government enacted two significant laws. the conscription ordinance. Until then, only samurai had the right to fight. Now, all men aged 20 were required to serve in the military. This ended the samurai's exclusive right to bear arms. The sword ban. The government banned carrying swords for public safety. For samurai, swords were more than weapons, they were symbols of honor. Many former Tokugawa samurai still possessed swords. The government strictly enforced this ban. Many samurai found these changes unacceptable. They gathered around Seigo, seeking his leadership in rebellion. At first, Seigo tried to mediate between the samurai and the government. But when his comrades, who had fought alongside him to end the shogunate, pleaded for his help, he couldn't refuse. Though he knew victory was impossible, Seigo led the Satsuma rebellion. He conducted the war carefully to minimize casualties on both sides. Finally, to end the conflict, Seigo chose to perform harakiri, the samurai's honorable death. With his passing, the age of the samurai truly came to an end. Chapter 3. The Legacy of Takamori Seigo. Famous quotes. In his 49 years of life, Seigo left behind many words of wisdom that are still cherished today. Here are some of his most famous quotes. Never be discouraged by criticism, nor be arrogant with praise. Seigo always listened carefully to others' opinions. He believed success comes from respecting different viewpoints. A leader must be the most humble of all. Japan was not wealthy at the time. Seigo believed leaders should live modestly like their people. He donated most of his salary to help the poor and develop the country. Never assume your ideas are perfect, no matter your rank. Seigo valued rationality above all. He believed true leadership comes from wisdom, not status. He encouraged honest feedback and open discussion. Position should not be given based on past achievements. Success often depends on others' help and luck. Leadership positions affect the whole organization. He believed in appointing people based on ability and character. When criticizing others, imagine yourself in their position. Wars often start from criticism. Everyone has their own truth. Seigo tried to respect others even when disagreeing. Do not leave wealth to your descendants. Family inheritance was crucial in the Tokugawa era. Seigo believed inherited wealth hindered national progress. This was a rare view among nobles of his time. No matter how much you discuss systems and methods, nothing can be achieved without the right person. Seigo promoted talented people regardless of rank. He believed human quality was more important than systems. What made Seigo special was that he lived by these principles. These values defined the samurai way: serving the nation, loving others, self-discipline, valuing purpose over life itself. Amazing, isn't it? The samurai way of life might seem almost mythical. You might wonder if these stories are just legends. But in old Japan, many samurai lived by these principles. The samurai class was officially abolished in 1876. When Takamori Seigo ended his life in 1877, it truly marked the end of the samurai era. Japan has many more fascinating historical figures to explore. Stay tuned for our next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to learn more about Japanese history.